It took me like 6 years, man, to get to $1,000 a month. But that's because I had no idea what I was doing. I went into it with like zero knowledge. I didn't understand business. I didn't even know what was SEO, search engine optimization. I recently did a video. It has 700 views. That video generated $1.3 thousand in revenue for the company. And I'm getting every month as a recurring payment for the next 12 months. The only thing you really earn online is your domain name and then the website that you build around that. Do you own your social media accounts? No. You don't own your YouTube channel. You don't own your Instagram accounts. You don't own any of that. It's just all rented real estate. Yeah. So would I rather go viral once or build steady, consistent income over time? I choose the second option. Why? Well, first off, because I never actually went viral. I never had like a hit piece that blew up and just, went viral and, got promoted to a lot of people. Instead, for me, it's a very like slow process where I build up over time. Yeah. I mean, YouTube is the second largest search engine after Google. Google owns YouTube, and many people don't talk about it, but there's different ways to get your content discovered on YouTube. So there's browse, there's suggested, there's search, and then there's shorts, right? So shorts is the one where you're most likely to kind of blow up and get a lot of traffic and views. Browse and suggested is a lot harder, and you need to be a student of YouTube and know exactly what people, would intrigue people to click. You need to have the idea of the video. You need to have the packaging of the video nailed down. And those are very hard, right? Now, the one that I specialize in is something which is called getting your content discovered through search. And essentially, when people search for something on YouTube, they're very high intent, meaning that they're looking specifically for that exact thing, whether it's a tutorial or some kind of a solution to their problem. Right. And the whole goal with, because I specialize in educational content, right? So if someone is searching for, say, how to start selling on Amazon, for example, I want to create a piece of content that is so valuable, that, is so in depth that the person, when they watch my video, they're like, okay, wow, this answered all of my questions. I don't need to watch anything else. Like, this is my kind of one-stop shop for everything I was looking for. So you don't necessarily need to create with searchable content, with these tutorials, with these educational videos. You don't need to create videos that have super crazy ideas and super clickbaity titles and thumbnails, but you need to create videos that people are already looking for, and you need to understand what is it that people are looking for, right? And that's what I've gotten good at, and that's where I specialize in. Is I create educational content about various different topics. I have many different channels in different niches and verticals, and for each one, we are now specializing in creating content about that. So when someone is looking for that specific thing, they discover my channel, they look at my videos, and they're like, wow, okay, this is really good. And then they consume a bunch, and that's how basically we get traffic. So this is a good question, right? How long does it take to build a full-time consistent income online? So if you're starting from complete scratch, right, there's a pretty big learning curve, right? You need to start learning. There's like a lot of things you need to learn. Now, obviously, with AI is a lot easier than it was before. AI is like leveling the playing field. It has democratized a lot of the things. Like, before, you would need to have, for example, a lot of money to get someone to set up a really nice landing page, or you would need to know how to do it yourself. You would need to pay a lot. Now you can do it for like a few dollars a month, and you can have these amazing landing pages that work really well. You can buy traffic, you can get anything written. AI is leveling the playing field tremendously, right? So coming back to your question regarding how long does it take, it really depends on what you already know. Like, what's your skill set level? If we're assuming that you're a complete beginner, I can talk from my own experience. It took me a long time, right? It took me a long time. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it or say that, you can get started fast. You can get started right away, but to get to a consistent income, it also depends on how much you're looking to make, right? I was looking to make like $1,000 a month at first because I just wanted to like cover my bills and just have like no stress in terms of like money and paying bills. And so, yeah, it took me like, I would say 6 years, man, to get to $1,000 a month. But that's because I had no idea what I was doing. I went into it with like zero knowledge. I didn't understand business. I didn't understand kind of the online space. I didn't understand how things interacted. To give you a perspective, I didn't even know what was SEO, search engine optimization. I never even really thought about like optimizing for search results and getting search traffic when I first started. My only understanding of like the online world was social media. It's only recently in the past, let's say, few months, not few months, yeah, maybe few months, that I really got the idea that the only thing you own on the internet is your own domain name, right? People nowadays are like, oh, you should start a community on School, or oh, you should just go and like do WAP, for example, or whatever the platform that Iman Gaji has invested into, right? But I say that's bunch of bullshit. The reason why is because, well, the most important thing on the internet is traffic, is the eyeballs, right? If you can figure out how to get traffic, right, the ways to monetize that traffic are endless. And so then the question becomes, all right, well, how do you monetize it, right? Okay, well, you can partner up with different companies and do affiliate marketing. Okay, you can like drive traffic to school.com and, build like your group there. But like the question is, do you own that domain? Where are you driving traffic? If you're driving traffic to school.com, let me ask you a question. Can school.com ban you or kick you out or close your community for whatever reason? Yeah, read their terms of service. You don't own anything. It's just rented space. The only thing you really earn online is your domain name and then the website that you build around that. So this is what I have done recently. I have completely revamped my system, and I encourage anyone listening as well, is that do not drive traffic to any external domain that you don't own. Drive traffic to your own domain and to your own website. Build a list, add a pixel to the people who visit your site. Do not drive traffic to School. Do not drive traffic to WAP. Do not drive traffic to any of those. That is all rented infrastructure, okay? You don't own anything. They can ban you. Same with social media, right? People say, oh, I'm going to build up my social media accounts. Well, again, do you own your social media accounts? No. You don't own your YouTube channel. You don't own your Instagram accounts. You don't own any of that. It's just all rented real estate. So social media is, in my opinion, the best place to get eyeballs onto your personal brand, onto your offers, onto your products. But make sure that you establish a direct connection with the people who resonate with your content and who follow you. Get them to your site and get them to leave their email in your infrastructure, and then start to establish a direct connection with these people. This one thing that I just told you took me like 10 years to learn. And if it doesn't resonate right now, because when I first heard that, it didn't resonate with me. Like, I was like, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really matter, right? But now I really get it. So depending on where you are in your journey of like make money online, this will either make a lot of sense or it will make little sense. But eventually you will come to it.
Okay. Which make money online method do you think actually works in 2025?
All right. So which make money online method works in 2025 and 2026 and beyond? The short answer is every method works, okay? It's not like something works and something doesn't. Is it a sexy answer? No, it's not. Is that the truth? Yes, it is. Can you build a successful e-commerce business? Of course. Can you build a successful affiliate marketing business? Yes. Can you sell successfully digital products? Yes. Now, what really comes down to here is not which one works, but which one is going to work for you, okay? Because we all want different lifestyles. We all have different ambitions. We all have different circumstances. We all have different skill sets and strengths that we should be monetizing on, all right? So what works for me might not necessarily work for you. What works for Iman might not necessarily work for you as well. So when I talk to beginners, I encourage them to try different business models. That's how I did it. I tried a bunch of different business models. I tried drop shipping, drop servicing. I tried affiliate marketing. I tried selling digital products. I tried coaching online. I tried like all of it, right? And what worked for me eventually was creating content, getting eyeballs, and then monetizing that. Well, then my primary thing is, of course, with affiliate marketing, with affiliate links. And now I'm also starting to implement more of my personal brand and, working on my own digital products that are hosted on my own site, right? But if you want me to give you like this answer, right? Like what is the best thing to do for beginners? The best thing to learn for beginners is to learn how to get traffic and how to get eyeballs, okay? This is the only thing that really only matters online. If you can just crack that one little thing, you can get anything else. You can drive that traffic to your own brand with physical products. You can drive that to affiliate links. You can drive that to your own digital products, whatever it is. But it all starts with getting traffic and with getting eyeballs onto your content. So creating content, and by the way, when I'm talking content, I'm talking specifically video content, okay? Both long form and short form. So get good at creating video content. That's what beginners need to learn. They need to learn how to work with a camera, how to create lighting, how to edit the content, how to make sure, how to like understand human psychology and how to craft hooks and, storylines to make it interesting for people to watch, right? So that's my kind of advice for beginners, is to really learn how to get traffic and how to create video content. You can do that, everything else follows. All right, so do you need expensive gear to start creating content? The short answer is no. Why can I say that with confidence? Because I did it myself. Look at my first videos on YouTube. I literally filmed with an old iPhone and I had no light, I had nothing. I literally had a table. I put my phone on, like, I didn't even have books. I didn't have a tripod. I put it on a stack of books or something, right? And I just started making it. I didn't look for excuses. Do I need gear? I don't have this, I don't have that. So I think, I stand by it, that you don't need to have expensive gear. Most smartphones right now can film in 180p and a lot of them can film in 4K already, okay? So you're already getting like insane quality from just a smartphone, right? The second thing is, okay, I've learned that the most important thing when it comes to video is lights. Okay, lights is super. Like you can see now my face, right? I have this night light here. I have shadow on here, right? Why? Well, that's because I have a key light coming in from here. It's lighting me up nicely, but then I have a lot less light coming from here, so this gives it this nice shadow, right? You can see in the back I have these neon lights. That gives it a nice atmosphere. I have that light there. I have that light there. So light is super important. That's what creates the ambience, right? And of course, I have much more advanced gear, right? I can basically look at you right now, right? But there's a camera there, and it's all of that. But you don't need this. Matter of fact, my most successful video on YouTube, how to transfer money from Revolut to bank accounts, I think it has like close to 300,000 views. I filmed it on my phone. It was just a screen recording on my phone, and I said, this is how you transfer money from Revolut to bank account. And then I just walk the person through where to click. It's like a 52-second video, like a vertical, but then I put it in like I edited this a horizontal video. And that video ended up making me like over $3.2 thousand, So you don't need gear. You just need to start. And then the beautiful thing is that once you start making content, you're going to start making money back, and then you can reinvest that money into better gear. That's how I did it. Like even a year ago, man, my gear was shit. I had like a basic camera, shitty lens. I had like these small lights, but I didn't like even question. I was like, I can make it work with anything, So then I just started blasting videos, and then started making some money, reinvesting that into the team, reinvesting that into better gear. And slowly, like I built what I have now over close to now like 6-7 years of doing like YouTube. So, and it's only recently that I really started taking it more seriously. So short answer is no, you don't need expensive gear. Start with what you have and reinvest your earnings into better gear over time. Quality every day, man. Quality every day. And I thought about this question a lot, right? And when I mean quality, I don't mean making like cinematic videos and having a bunch of B-roll and this and that. No. When I mean quality, I mean like making the video valuable for the viewer, okay? Really understanding what is the viewer looking for. If they're looking for how to transfer money from bank accounts to Revolut or the other way around, they are looking essentially for steps on how to do it. So even though my video was only 52 seconds long and there I didn't have my face or anything there, what I did have was I had clear voice, clear microphone. I had a clear script and there was no like fluff, nothing. I just literally walked person step by step. Click here, click here, click here. And then, the video ended up having 300,000 views or something and made over $3,000. So making valuable is not necessarily having like crazy cinematic things. It's about really understanding what the viewer is looking for and providing it to them in the best possible manner. Okay, that's number one. Number two, coming back to your thing about quality, right? Now I'm at a stage, for example, I can talk for myself, right? Where I'm starting to compete in the market for more competitive keywords. Okay, so the way it works is that, different keywords have more competition and some have less competition. The longer the keyword, the less competitive it is. The shorter the keyword, the more competitive it is. Now, another thing is also how much money is there in this keyword. For example, something like Amazon FBA, which I'm working on like a crazy ass video right now, that has a lot of money in it because people who are starting an Amazon FBA business, right? They usually have some capital ready to go. So they're ready to buy stock. They're ready to, sign up to some software. So, and advertisers know that. So the whole industry around Amazon FBA is built around a lot of money, right? So people who are going after the keyword Amazon FBA, if you're going after like Amazon FBA and you want to rank for that, you got to make sure that you have an amazing video. And this is what, I'm doing right now with kind of, my equipment and the way we're approaching it. Like we're taking it like a step further. We're like doing interviews, we're doing, physical props, we're doing these amazing, like, it's just, we're putting a lot of effort because into one video. And that video, we're also spending like over $3,000 now as an investment into the video, because that's what it takes to make an amazing thing. But the good thing about it is that once, of course, we make that video and we publish it, if it ranks, which is not guaranteed, but if it works, it can be generating $10,000, $15,000 per month on autopilot for the next couple of years. So the more competitive it is, the harder it is to rank, but also the upside is much greater. So higher risk, higher reward, right? Now, it was not always like this, of course. I started off by going after very long tail keywords with like not that great quality, to be honest. Now, when I look back, I'm like, ugh, that was not great. But that's what it takes, if you don't have the skills, the equipment, the whatever, the budget to like hire a team, then just go after easier, less competitive, longer tail keywords. And because that's what you have to work with. You have more time and energy and you have less money. So that's what I did. I just started going with a lot of quantity for longer tail keywords. And I was looking at data, what works, what doesn't. And that eventually built up enough kind of money for me to then start slowly going after more competitive topics as well. Now we create like, I think, world-class tutorials about all these different softwares like Zendesk and Klaviyo and whatnot, but you basically evolve into it. You cannot start and just go for like the most competitive things right away. You need to learn first on the basics, and then as you get better, you can start compete in the more higher leagues. Yes, of course, 100%, 100%. Matter of fact, I have videos that smaller niches have like a lot of money. It depends. It of course depends on the niche, but a lot of the times with just getting 100 quality views on YouTube, you can make anywhere from $100 to $500 with those 100 views. I recently did a video. I checked it literally last night. It has 700 views. That video generated $1.3 thousand in revenue for the company, and I'm getting 20% of that every month as a recurring payment for the next 12 months. So yeah, You don't need to have a lot of views. And it's just with the people that I have referred, which is like, I think maybe 4 people or something. And as you can imagine, that video is getting 30 views every 48 hours. So over the next, 365 days is going to get, this amount of views and this many signups, and you do the math on that. But yeah, I encourage, like, if you're going to be getting into it, I encourage to basically create specialized niched down channels in various different niches, right? And then creates content about that. And it doesn't matter if you're only getting, a few hundred views per video, or it's, there's not so much. Yeah, it can be a lot. Like, for example, there's one niche that I can give away. I don't really care about it, but there's one niche called debt consolidation, right? Basically, people in the US who have debts, there's these services that help you consolidate the debt. So they take debts from different companies, they cover the loans, but then they take that full amount, and then they give you then they have like an interest on it. So basically they help you pay off to different people, and then they consolidate the debt, and then you pay it off to one company, but of course they charge you more over time, right? I don't know if I agree with those practices, Shady. I just tried a couple of videos for that vertical some time ago, and my videos didn't even get that many views, but some people clicked, some people, did the whole thing, and it made like a couple of $100 just on autopilot, and the video cost me not that much to make. So did I make money on it? Yeah, I'm in the green, but I wouldn't like do it myself personally again, because I don't know, I don't really feel like talking about that type of service. So yeah, small niches can have a lot of money. Just doesn't mean that if it's small, it's low paying. Sometimes small can mean high paying. And that's how I got my start as well. So big niches can be too competitive. Like if you're trying to make a video like Shopify tutorial, for example, oh man, you're not going to make that much money there. Yeah, there's a lot of demand, but there's also like the kind of content that's gets produced for Shopify tutorials is extremely high. Best online side hustles that can become passive income. So yeah, like I told you, I mean, in my opinion, it's learning how to create content and then just monetizing with affiliate links. I call it affiliate marketing 2.0. That's my name for my strategy that I execute. But basically, back in the day, you would do affiliate marketing with like a blog post. You would have, high ranking, articles or whatever, and then you would fill it up with affiliate links, and then you would monetize it that way. Now, as you can imagine, articles and blogs and all this due to like AI overviews and ChatGPT and AI is, in my opinion, it's dying, right? And it's not just my opinion. It's also like A16Z reconfirmed that, Google reconfirmed that as well. So it's not like the traffic is going to be growing to these blogs and articles. People nowadays just like ask ChatGPT for whatever it is they're looking for, and that's just a natural progression. There's a lag, but yeah, that's how it's going to be from now on. But video is here to stay. Man, video is going to be like everything. So I think, in my opinion, it's going to be like chatbots, and then it's going to be video, because humans are visual creatures. So that's why, video is going to be like the dominant, the most important thing. So yeah, affiliate marketing 2.0 is essentially creating video content, helpful educational video content, helping people answer questions, guiding them through something, providing value, and then monetizing that with basically partnering with affiliate programs, affiliate partners, and driving that traffic to them, right? This is like level 1. Then, of course, if you're trying to build a personal brand and you want to be on camera and all this, then of course you can start to have your own site and build your own email list and sell your own digital products. But that is a bit more advanced. But the easiest thing is just learn how to make content and monetize it with affiliate links. That's essentially it. By the way, if you want to learn my whole strategy, I put together a free guide where I break down essentially everything, like step by step. I think it's like 40 pages long, and you can get it for free on my site, georgevlasiev.com/affiliates. The link is also in the show notes. All right, so how do sponsorship deals work on YouTube? So the way it works is that there are companies out there who want to tap into your views, into your audience, and they usually reach out to you and they say, hey, we would like to sponsor your video and get you to talk about our company either as a integration. So you talk about them for 15, 30 or 60 seconds or whatever. That's one way. The second way is they say, hey, can you please make like a full-on dedicated video about our platform or whatever it is that they have, right? Then you just negotiate the rates. Now, this is where it gets like this is where it gets complex. It's like, okay, how much do you ask for? And there's no clear answer to that. Like literally, not even they know how much to pay. Like really, it's just all this like fugazi. There's no clear thing. I can give you a couple of guidelines from what I learned, how they look at it. They look at your, of course, your audience, right? Where are they from? How old they are? Yada, yada, yada. Your overall like topics, like who do you talk, what do you talk about? If you're talking about gaming, that's one thing. If you're talking like to business founders or what entrepreneurs, that's another thing. So that will they will calculate your CPM, cost per mil, based on that, how much to pay you per 1,000 views. And then they will look at your average number of views per video in the last 6 months. So they will go to your channel, they will look at all the videos that you have up to 6 months. They will input it into a spreadsheet. They will see how many views you're getting in total, divided by the number of videos that you have on your channel. That will give them the average number of views that you have per video. And then they will say, okay, well, this guy has 15,000 views on average per video, let's say, right? And then the CPM we were gonna give him is like, say, $80, right? So then they take 15 times 80, and then you can calculate, right? So that turns out to be what, $1,200, and that's how much your rate for an integration should be. So that's kind of like the simple way to look at it, but this is not like fixed, right? I actually get much higher rates for my videos because I actively go out and I look for sponsorship deals, for brand deals, and we do like full-on dedicated videos. And it comes down to your ability to sell yourself, right? Like jump on a call with an affiliate manager from a company, walk them through your value proposition, like sell them why this is valuable for them. And that's how I do it. And I get much higher rates. My rates for one video starts from at the moment from $3,000. I've had much higher deals than that as well. We also sell like package deals where we have like 5 videos for $10,000. Actually, last night I just sold a $10,000 deal for 5 videos to an existing client. So yeah, it's not bad. But of course, talking about like brand deals and affiliates, right? Brand deals they take a lot from you, and it's not scalable, right? Because you're dependent on finding new clients. You're like, once you're done with it, there's no more income. So a much better income is affiliates, because you don't have to do it over and over. You do it once, and if the video works, it's gonna keep paying you for like several years. So brand deals can be a great like injection of cash into your business, but affiliates is much more scalable, much more passive, and it's recurring. So that's my short answer. Longer videos make more money because you can have mid-roll ads, meaning, how many ads can YouTube place in your video? If it's a 1 hour long tutorial, you can have an ad every, say, 10 minutes or whatever, right? If it's a 10-minute video, you can have maybe 1 or 2 ad breaks in between. So, and this is not just like my opinion. I actually have like a manager from YouTube, and he told me like on the phone that, yeah, you have longer videos, so your channel average CPM is much higher because longer videos have higher CPMs. It's just like, when you watch TV, right? Like when we were kids, like how many ad breaks you could have going on, right? So how long you watch TV, like the longer you watch TV, the more ads you're gonna see. It's like as simple as that. Can small channels still make good amount of money? Yes, absolutely. Because it's not about the size of the channel per se. It's about each individual video. Okay, so you're gonna have a channel with, 0 subscribers, 0 videos. But if you post one really amazing video that is like strategically kind of produced for a specific affiliate partner, and that video ranks, and it can rank because your channel doesn't need to be big. You can have like a brand new channel, but if you just like, subscriber count doesn't really matter. What matters is just each individual video and whether it's valuable for the viewer or not. That's the only thing that matters. And if the video is valuable and it brings a lot of value to the end user, like they find it super helpful or whatever, it's going to get, more people are going to see it. And then the more people see it, the more they're going to click on your link, and the more they will subscribe to that software and stuff. So yeah, I would want to make an experiment, just start a brand new channel, post one very good strategic video there, and then just see how much money I can generate with like that one video over, say, 6 or 12 months or whatever. But that's a pretty long experiment. Yeah, I mean, consistency is important, not in the sense that you would probably think about it, but in the sense that it shows your commitments to the craft of making videos. So, if you say that you want to get good at YouTube at creating content, but then your behavior and your actions say otherwise, you're going out on the weekend, you're getting high, drinking or whatever, well, people lie, but numbers don't. You need to look at just the behavior of each person if you want to understand what they prioritize. People might say, oh, I want to learn how to make content and get views, but then their actions don't align with that. The proportion of time they spend per week actually learning and committing to the craft doesn't align with what they say they want. So I think consistency is important because you're just gonna get better. And this is a fucking competitive field, man. This is a competitive field, okay? Don't think that you're gonna just come in here and you're a special cookie and you're gonna make some shit and then people are gonna watch it, okay? To get your stuff watched, to get eyeballs, right? It was something like 60% of adults say they would want to be content creators if they could, right? So you can imagine there's low barrier to entry. It's extremely competitive and you need to be very, very good at what you do in order to get some sort of traction. So, and the way you get better is just you do it more. As with anything, you want to get better at running, you run as much as you can, right? You want to get better at making money online, you just commit to it every single day until you figure it out. That's kind of my philosophy, and that's how I approached it as well. Now, the flip side to that is beginners starting out, right? You often want to kind of learn how to make money online, but you underestimate how long it will take you. And the big mistake that beginners make is that they don't have a steady income when they start to learn how to make money online. And this is going to put so much stress onto you, man. So I encourage beginners, if you want to learn how to make money online, have a part-time gig or a part-time job where you make a little bit of money. You work maybe 3-4 hours per day for someone else. You have consistent money coming in that can support your life, and then spend the rest of your time just learning and trying new things. Because the way I did it was I didn't have any income and I had bills and I had a lot of fucking stress. And that's not how you want to do it, because this is a marathon. This is not a race. And it's going to take you much longer to figure out how to do this than you think. Much longer. So better be ready to be in here for the long term. How did I make my first $1,000 online? Yeah, the way I made my first $1,000 online was through making video content. As simple as that. Just there's different I have different sources of income. Okay, I have YouTube ad revenue, I have affiliate marketing, I have brand deals, I have something else. I just don't know what it is. But that's kind of the primary ones, right? And I got to my first 1,000 with just ad revenue because it's the easiest. It's you don't have to know anything. You just make videos, you grow the views, and then YouTube will just automatically pay you, right? That's how I made my first 1,000. But now, if I would tell to a beginner, don't rely on ad revenue as your one and only source of income, because it's very inconsistent. It can be up and down by, a few $100s every day. And if you're not used to that, it can kind of fuck with your psyche. But yeah, I would then I remember last year, it was crazy. It was literally last year I made I did my first big brand deal where I made $1,000 for one video. I thought, oh my God, that's so much. But yeah, it wasn't even that much now looking back. But back then I was wow, this is so cool. I just made, $1,000 from doing one video. Yeah, I also sold kind of coaching, high ticket coachings. I did a lot of sales on that. That was a lot of fun. I remember every single call I have a lot of them recorded as well. We were scaling that with my business partner back then. We were trying to grow it. We had also a podcast. So that was a lot of fun. I would say 2 most important skills for beginners to learn is first, get traffic. And second, learn how to sell. Man, these 2 things, content and sales, that's all you need to know to make a shit ton of money. First, you have to be able to turn on the camera and be confident and talk to people, okay? Like you cannot be anonymous on the internet and try to expect to make great things. You have to turn on the camera, you have to talk to people, and you have to be like energetic, upbeat, and you have to be able to learn how to infect people with energy, even when you're sitting here by yourself, but there's another person listening right there. That's number one. And the second thing is, of course, doing content and getting traffic. If you look at all the top guys right now, like Tai Lopez and who else is like Grant Cardone and Iman Gadzhi, like what they're doing, for example, what they're doing is they are producing content, long form, short form, and then they're doing high ticket sales. Obviously, they're not doing it themselves because they have big teams, right? But that's essentially what they are. They're not buying traffic, they're doing organic traffic. That's an important thing. So even though they might be getting a little bit of views, or you might be getting a little views, the people that do watch you need to treat every view that it has the potential to make you, thousands of dollars. And then you have some kind of an offering, some kind of whatever, high ticket coaching, or offer something, come up with something that you can offer, but charge a lot for it and then figure out how to sell it. It's very complex. It's not beginner. I don't think it's beginner friendly, right? But this is like, if you look at the top guys, that's what they're doing right now. They're doing organic content, and then they have a sales system for high ticket stuff. That's what they're doing. I was just looking at Tai Lopez, right? His call to action now is like, text me on WhatsApp, right? Text me on WhatsApp, there's a number there. Well, yeah, you're going to text them on WhatsApp, and then if you have the money, they're going to sell you for whatever money you have, 25, 100K, whatever it is that you have, they're going to sell you on that, and they're going to offer you some kind of a service. So yeah, it's a lot harder to do that, but that's one way to do it. Focus is important, right? Focus. Like they say that, and beginners should just like choose one thing and then like stick to it and just make it work and not have shiny object syndrome. I disagree with that. I think the way I did it, and the way I think that beginners should do it, is if you have no idea what you're doing, just like try different things and learn everything you can. Don't go necessarily into it with like, yeah, of course you have the goal of making money, but like, don't think that, I'm going to try drop shipping and I'm going to, make money. Chances are you're not, or I'm going to try this and I'm going to make a lot of money. Chances are you're not. But what you are going to get is you're going to learn a lot of things. That's the most important thing. Learning from experience. So when I did e-commerce and dropshipping back in the day, I learned so much, man. Like e-commerce taught me like the foundation of kind of the internet economy and how things work and what is important. If I ask you right now, do you know what's CAC? Do you know what's LTV? Do you know the relationship between these two numbers? You need to just be able to say it and from the top of your head, like why those two numbers are important. Customer acquisition cost and lifetime value. That's kind of like the foundation of business online, right? How much it costs you to get a customer in the door, and how much that customer is going to spend with you throughout their lifetime of being, spending money with you. And those two metrics are very, very important to understand. And like, it sounds again simple, but trust me, this took me like 5 years to learn. But with this foundation now that I have, and with these super kind of ingrained basics, now that when I have calls with affiliate managers from these companies, I speak their lingo. I'm not just a content creator who is, I have an audience and yeah. No. I'm like, listen, motherfucker, this is the CPM, this is the audience, this is the conversion rate, this is the CTR, right? This is how many signups we can have. This is your ROI, right? All these terms, you need to like, not just know them, but you need to understand the relationship between it and how it affects the bigger system, the bigger kind of holistic omni-channel presence, right? That's yeah. But with all of this, I would say that first test, and then once you find something that resonates with you, then you focus. First you test, and then when you find something that works for you in terms of like, okay, this makes me money, then just focus on it. For me, it was content creation and affiliate marketing. So of course I'm going to be biased and I'm going to say, make content, but that's what I really think it all comes down to. Like making video content is of course you can build a SaaS business and you can build an e-commerce business. If that aligns with your strengths, then go ahead and, do that. But what works for me and what I'm kind of focusing on is just, content creation, getting eyeballs, getting traffic, and then monetizing that with affiliate links, and then also my own digital products. So yeah, that's That's a challenge, but you need to focus. The more you focus, you cannot be doing like, oh, I'm going to be doing e-commerce, and I'm also have a YouTube channel, and then I also have, I'm also trading. That's shit. Okay, that's recipe for nothing. You're not going to be good at anything, man. You're not going to be good at this. You're not going to be good at that, and you're not going to be good at anything. So you need to choose one, right? You need to sacrifice something, and then you just need to go for the. I never really had problems with like just focusing on one, but yeah, choose one thing and focus on it. Well, I used to do YouTube automation coaching, right? Do I do it now? No. Do I think it's a bunch of shit? Yes. So basically, there's two parts. There's the YouTube and there's the automation, right? You need to get good at YouTube, and then basically what automation is building systems where you can, outsource the work that you don't want to do yourself to other people. That's essentially what it is, right? There's this whole idea that like you have these channels that are run faceless, and there's like this Noah Morris guy, and I know some other guys. Like I've been deep in this space, right? But yeah, and I know there's guys who make a lot of money with that, but that really is not what I do anymore. No, I'm in front of the camera. I'm building a personal brand. I don't want to be faceless. And I say that if you wanna, like the way I would tell a beginner is just like overcome your shyness. Like the world doesn't reward overly shy men. It's just pure fact. So if you're a shy guy and you have the ambition of being rich and making a ton of money, well, you better overcome your shyness and you better get in front of a camera and start to learn how to do public speaking. This is part of like public speaking, right? But I'm just doing it one-on-one, but potentially a lot of people will be able to listen and watch to this, right? So yeah, it's just, listen, life is competition, and you need to, there are certain things like Warren Buffett, for example, he was not good at public speaking, but then he took a Dale Carnegie course, and he said that was one of the best investments he did, because he learned how to basically speak in public and how to present himself and hold himself to a group of people. And yeah, I don't believe that like, yeah, you can make some money faceless and this and that, but if you want to build a personal brand, well, there needs to be, guess what, a person, because it's a personal brand, right? So I think personal brands are extremely important, right? Humans connect with humans. People like people. They're not going to be, of course there are some like, you might follow a page or something, but at the end of the day, you establish a connection, right, to a real human. And that's extremely powerful, right? So I'm not going to be speaking about anything faceless because I personally don't believe in it so much. I believe in having a real human interaction and selling, right? A robot connecting, doing some crazy computations on a sales call with someone, it will not be able to sell, as a human can, because there's no connection, there's no relationship. So yeah, don't be shy, man. But get in front of a camera and make content and learn how to sell. Authentic, of course, authentic. You got to make stuff that the challenge with this space, right? With making content is that it is a marathon. It's going to take you so much longer than you think it is. And if you want to have, like, if you want to do it sustainably, you better enjoy what you're doing. Like, if you're not enjoying it, you're not going to last too long. And if you don't last too long, you're not going to see the success you want. So I personally enjoy like making videos. I personally enjoy, this whole idea of like kind of democratized way of distribution of video, like of media. I think it's just fascinating. And yeah, you have to enjoy what you're doing, man, because otherwise you won't last. You need to be able to do this for the rest of your life. Otherwise, there's no point.